For the wall tile, it's really important that you get everything started off correctly. So I'm using a laser level to make sure that the first row is perfectly level. After that, it's just a matter of stacking the next rows on top. I'll put enough thin set for a couple of rows, and then I'll start laying the tile. I'll back butter each tile to make sure that it gets full coverage and a good bond with the wall. I'm using little plastic tile wedges to adjust the position so that the top of the tile aligns with the laser line. I'm using a tile leveling system to make sure I don't end up with any lippage. The way the leveling system works is that the white pieces slip behind the tile, and then this red wedge is inserted with this tool that helps to pull this tile and the adjoining tile to the same level. So when I got to the niche, I realized that I must have miscalculated because the tile was a little too low. I think what happened is that I didn't properly measure the tile and I was off by 1/16 of an inch. That doesn't sound like a lot, but when you multiply that by 8 rows of tiles, that turns into 1/2 an inch, and that's roughly what I have here. That was a big disappointment because I was pretty careful with all of the calculations. It'll be okay with some extra grout, but it's definitely not my best work. I'm going to put an LED strip in the niche, which will be really cool. So I'm putting some mortar on a 3/8 inch aluminum C-channel that I'll be able to insert the LED strip into after I'm done with the grouting. I have a wire ready on the other side of the wall that has a separate dimmer switch just for this LED strip. I'm using this Schluter Rondeck aluminum tile trim to finish up around the edges, and it's easy to cut on a miter saw. I need to cut a round hole to fit around the pipe for the handheld nozzle, so I'm using a diamond hole saw. These don't have a drill bit in the center like a hole saw for cutting wood, so you have to start by angling the drill so that it doesn't skip all over the place like it was doing at the start. Once it digs in at that point, you can hold the drill vertically to cut the hole. This was pretty close to the edge, so that's why it snapped off, but that'll be fine. This wraps up the first day, and then I tiled the other wall the next day. Now I just need to put some vertical tile pieces at the end of the short wall. I'll start by putting the Rondeck trim in place, and then I'll fit the tile between those. The next day, it's time to grout the walls. Just like I did with the floors, I'll spread the grout everywhere and then clean it up about 30 minutes later. The next day, I caulked the corners. I've already installed the hardware for a glass panel that you can see on the wall. And the reason I did that is because I learned the hard way that you don't want all that tile dust falling onto caulk that hasn't fully hardened when you drill the holes for the screws. Next, I can go ahead and install the toilet. It's been a challenge working here because this is the only bathroom in the house, and my poor daughter has had to live with her parents this whole time, which has been awful for her. You want to be sure you don't forget to install the escutcheon or wall flange before putting on the tap, but they do make a split flange that you can add on afterwards if you do forget. I'll put a wax ring on the bottom of the toilet and then set it onto the toilet flange on the floor. Then I just need to screw it in place, connect the water line, and attach the seat. Next, I'll install a shower head and the handheld shower nozzle. With a bathroom that works, Kat will be so happy that she can finally move out of our house.